So I've been saying that one of the ways in which Cursor is very underutilized is in its ability to do marketing and data analysis. And in this video, I'm gonna kind of walk through and showcase how I've started using Cursor for my execution of SEO. You may have seen a video that I did a few weeks ago on how you can do an SEO analysis for your business or brand based on your website and look at keywords, do keyword research, and do a keyword analysis and come up with a strategy for going about driving traffic uh, to your website and generate more leads over time. And I'm starting to now actually execute on the plan that I came up with that day. And so this is the first day of kind of beginning to carry out the plan that I've sort of put together. I used the Firecrawl MCP, the Perplexity MCP, and the Data4SEO MCP servers in order to do the analysis and create the plan. And then now I'm starting to execute on that plan. And this is day one of that. And so I have a guide right here, which lays out day by day and month by month for a full year on the steps to take from everything going from the audit of my current website to get it optimized right now, to submitting my website to Google Search Console so that I'm able to track keywords and the traffic that is coming onto the website, and then the different kinds of content and tools and elements that I can add to the site as the weeks and months go on, case studies and so on, so that I can get Pinterest media ranking for AI automation, and voice agents are the primary keywords and phrases. And so I recorded this earlier. I'm glad I would just kind of talk through my thought process and also just like show what it looks like to leverage platforms like Cursor for this kind of thing. A lot of people will talk about setting up these platforms and how you can use these platforms. But what does it actually look like to execute? And so in this case here, this first day, what I'm actually doing is I'm literally taking what was laid out on the plan and then I'm pasting it into Cursor. I'm going onto ChatGPT and I'm actually doing research and understanding fully why Cursor gave the steps and the strategies that it did, so that I'm informed along the way for some areas that I may not be familiar with when it comes to SEO. And so what it's doing is it's going and it's doing a technical audit of the site, and then it's creating a schema for the site, which is basically sort of almost like a floor plan, if you will, or just like a map of the website, which is able to be read well by Google search. And so after I go through the couple of steps uh, that is being carried out right now, then I can submit it to Google Search Console so that Google will enable me to start tracking it as I'm building out different web pages and tools and the like. And so one of the really cool things about Cursor is that it's generating the code for the site. So this is my site run locally here. You see on the left side all the different files, and then if you look at on that left side as well, the to the left of the files where you see those blue arrows pointing down, right before the Pinterest media, comprehensive SEO and keyword analysis and keyword research, you can actually tag those files while you're prompting in the chat box at the bottom right. And so it's going ahead, it's getting the schema, and it's literally typing out everything that's involved in that schema. And then as it goes step by step, that second step is going to be optimize the tags and meta descriptions. So this is all kind of what's happening behind the scenes for the site. And then when I paste that in to the chat within Cursor, I can then have Cursor reference the files on that left side so that it is contextualized with the right keywords and the analysis of the keywords that we did, so that it's putting in tags that make sense, and it's gonna read well when submitted for the Google Search Console. And then I mentioned that throughout this process, what I've also done is I've done my own research, as I mentioned, on what is actually happening. So anything that I'm unfamiliar with, I'm putting it into the large language model so that I can fully understand what is happening. And so the rate at which you're just able to learn because of these LLMs is like night and day, because not only is it providing me with all the information I need to actually take action and execute on, in this case, SEO and GEO that I'm doing, I'm able to actually learn all of what's involved and why it's generating the information that it is, why I'm putting in the queries that I am, and what it means for the site. And so it's like a crash course in SEO while also conducting the SEO. So something that really anyone can do, because you can have it give you the information, and then you can also learn as you go along. And so I feel like even just learning in this day and age is starting to be modified, because you have access to all the intelligence in the world with these large language models, and then they are also agentic now. So you're able to have them accomplish goals and do tasks for you. All right, so that second step, because it finished that first step for the schema, is now it's going to do the title tags and the meta descriptions, and then I'm going to tag the files, the SEO implementation guide that it created after it did the first step, and then also the Pinterest media, keyword research and keyword analysis files, just so it has the words and analysis of it as context for it to use in this second step for the meta description and the title tags. So then it'll go ahead and it'll do the same thing in this scenario, and it's modifying the code for the website, and we'll be able to go and test it once it's done so. And so just to fast forward, so went ahead and it accomplished what it set out to do. And again, this is all kind of running behind the website, so it's not something that you would see on the site itself. It's what's being fed to Google. All right. And then I asked it to give me the development site, so the site run locally on my computer, so I can look at what it is to test out, what the schema looks like, and what it's done so far. So it's running it on localhost 880, and that'll be localhost 880 slash SEO test. So that's that right here. And so you're able to run an implementation test. If I were to run the validate schema marker, then it will show, okay, this is valid. And then it also provided some next steps, even though I kind of already do have a task list. So then going on to that step 3, was testing these, core vitals, as it says. And then I just added those next steps that the website provided, so that again, I can learn as I go along. I'm unfamiliar with Google's rich results test. I'm actually don't know what that is. So I just wanted to paste that there for my information, so that I can research that as we go along. And then I have it go now onto step 3. And then I tell it to use Firecrawl, but I checked, and it turns out my Firecrawl, I'm actually have already used up all my credits for Firecrawl, so wasn't able to implement with Firecrawl. What Firecrawl will do, since Firecrawl is a web crawler, and so it would be able to do a more kind of precise audit, if you will. My site is pretty small, so Cursor is probably fine to do what it has to, given what I have right now. But if it were a larger site, you would want Firecrawl to, or a tool that's similar to it that can also crawl sites, to be what goes and looks to see where any optimization can occur, and where where any issues may lie. And then again here, putting that it can reference the SEO implementation guide that it updated after the last step, and then also the again, the keyword research and keyword analysis sheets. Those other sheets there were more the implementation strategy execution sheets, and then a summary of the whole experience when I was initially putting together the SEO. And here I was looking up the Google rich results test, as I mentioned, because I just was unaware of what it was. And so I just did a little bit of research on that. And then we came back, and now it's implementing that third part. There's a plugin that it says it has to install. And as I mentioned, the Firecrawl actually didn't work because I actually don't have credits. So, but it was able to still complete the task. Then also then created a performance optimization guide for me. This third step is around performance optimization. And then you're able to then go onto that site and look at that performance testing and optimization. You can run a test on the site here, and you can test it both for desktop and mobile if I were to go on mobile as well. And that was part 3. Part 4, and this was actually for day 1 and day 2. Part 4 deals with actually now just submitting it to Google. It said to ensure the XML sitemap is updated. So I just pasted that in to make sure that that was the case. And you'll see that it says that it actually took care of that in the previous step. And then all that's left is now to submit it to Google Search Console. And then I can set up Google Analytics, which will be a whole another thing. There's a platform also called Fathom Analytics that I've used in the past as far as just tracking traffic for my website. But Google Analytics is also could also be very useful. It's a lot more sort of comprehensive and intricate. So I imagine it could be a little bit tedious, but I'm going to take it day by day with this plan that's been laid out. And I like what was put together. And again, when it comes to Cursor and just beyond coding, the ability to do marketing and data analysis with it is something that more businesses should definitely be taken into consideration. So then you see here it says that it completed the XML sitemap update in the previous step. Then I had to go and push the updates to GitHub so that it's saved. The site is saved, and when it saves on GitHub, it automatically also updates in Vercel, which is where the site was actually deployed and where it's being stored. And then so that's here on Vercel, and that's pretty much it for this one.